Hi. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live, episode 629. We are about to broach the 630s. How exciting is that? Hi, I'm Nicola. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live today. I wanted to talk briefly, it's a quick one while I'm actually waiting for my daughter to finish school today. And the thing that I wanted to talk briefly about is, how do you know if it's the time to just kind of like double down on what you're doing, whether it's time to scale up or whether it's time to maybe even scale back? So as you know, I was on the Gold Coast last week and it was really fun to be in the room with people doing all the event things that I do, and being in the room coaching is really exciting, and pulling magic out of people's heads and putting it into frameworks and systems for events, for marketing, for programs, for delivery, for all of the things that the people that I work with, like entrepreneurs, and like practice owners, or service professionals, people like you who need to get out there and do what you do. This is a really important question to answer, because I felt like what I've kind of like mapped out over the years is that you can probably get to about 250 a year with really minimal admin staff, with really minimal support, minimal team. And there comes a time where most of us go, all right, what am I going to do now? And that might be that you want to, you've heard other people, right? So you're comparing yourself to what other people are doing. So either they might have like this massive team of people. It could be entrepreneur, like virtual assistants. It could be in-person assistants. It could be getting salespeople. It could be hiring marketers. It could be hiring, social media agencies. It could be any number of things that you're wanting to start to grow your team with, which means you need to then start making more money to cover those increased expenses, right? Those two things go hand in hand. Alternately, you might be going, oh, I can see what those other people are doing and how much time, money, and energy they're pouring into their businesses, and maybe I'm okay. So I reckon at about the 250 mark, it was for me, and I know it's been similar for friends of mine and clients of mine. When we get to kind of that 250 mark, we can get a little bit of that, oh, I'm just gonna, I've got to double the business. I want to get to 500,000 turnover a year. I want to get to 1 million a year, and then more than that. And it does require, or it may require, a lot more investing in infrastructure and resources to be able to get to that point. Here's the rip though. I know for me and for a lot of other people that I've spoken to, doing that 250, your profitability is actually probably really quite high. When you're then looking at having to bring on other team, you really need to look at what you have to invest into that, and also what your profit is going to be at the end. Because what I found with doing 1 million a year compared to doing 250, 300 a year, I ended up with about the same amount of money in my pocket. But to be doing 1 million a year for me, I had sales staff, I had admin staff, I had bookkeepers, I had virtual assistants, I had huge subscriptions around the place. I was paying mentoring fees, I was paying wages, and super, in all the entitlements that come along with having to have staff. And actually, I ended up with more money in my pocket doing 250 a year than what I was doing 1 million, and or close to 1 million. I think I've said to you guys, like on average for that period in time where I was going, great guns, it was around 85 a month that I was bringing in, but my costs were really, really high. And so for me, by the time you allow for tax and everything else, so for me, I was like, oh my God, I had to kind of make this really, I didn't have to, but I made a conscious decision to actually pull the business back and reduce what I was doing, because it was just, there was a lot of stress, there was a lot of worry, there was a lot of not being able to turn my brain off. I was drinking a lot more than what I would like, because I was like either having a great day or a shit day, or a day ending in Y. And I'd gotten to the point where I was either celebrating a good day or commiserating a not so great day. And I didn't want to do that anymore. So the toll that it took on my health, my well-being was just not there. So for me, I think it was really like, well, I don't want $1 million a year business if that's the cost, not just the financial cost, but the emotional and the physical cost as well to actually building a business again to that point. So usually what we're doing, if we think about the triggers, right? The triggers typically are, oh, I've seen this other person and they have this really super successful business, or they've just done this really super successful launch, or they're all doing their XYZ thing. And usually we're comparing ourselves to that, going, oh my God, like I feel like I should be doing that. So the word should is a bit of an example there as to, is this the right thing for you or not? So have a think about what would happen if you were to scale up your business. Are you okay with the costs, the financial costs, the emotional and the physical costs that might be associated with growing and scaling? Lucky I'm here at school already. Is it worth just continuing to do what you do, maybe adjusting some things so that you've still got that sense of excitement and sense of variety? Or do you actually end up with more money in your pocket if you were to scale it back a little bit and reduce some of the output that you're doing, but ending up with maybe more free time, more freedom, more flexibility? Or can you build that into what you've already got? That's assuming that you're already making money and you're profitable and that type of thing there. So how do you know when it's time to scale back or scale up or keep going where you are? I think the big thing for me is that you really need to run your numbers and work out what the motivation for it is. Is it because you're looking at the other people, so playing the comparison game? Is it that you have been talking to somebody else and they're like, yeah, you could take this really far, but they're not in your business, so they don't actually know? Like, have a look at why you actually want what you want, and is it aligned with where you are now and with where you think that you want to go? The final thing I want to leave you with is there is absolutely nothing wrong with you jumping in and going, all right, I'm gonna see how far I can scale this. I'm gonna, build it up. I'm gonna do more sales. I'm gonna get more clients. I'm gonna help more people. I'm gonna bill more hours. I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. It's more than okay for you to test that out and then actually go, you know what? That's not for me. I don't want to do that. Or yes, this is for me and I want to keep going on that train. You are always entitled to change your mind. You are always entitled to make a new decision, and you're always entitled to celebrate your wins and adjust the course of where you're going and what you're doing if you feel like you need to do that. All right. My name is Nicola. I am very excited to be back with you for the Coffee Run Lives. I'm very excited to be back in the world of work. The last week at the Gold Coast just rocked my world. I had a great time and it really affirmed for me quite a number of things around where my thinking's at the moment. It's really affirmed for me that I'm absolutely on the right track with the offers that I'm putting out there, or not that there's much out there at the moment, but the offers that I'm going to be putting out there, the book that I want to write, the events I want to facilitate, and the work that I want to do, and the lives that I want to change and help for the better. So super excited to come back with you. I will see you next week. Remember, the world is ready for your brand of awesome. Bye.